Hello. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Let me get this stuff set up so I can see myself. There we go. All right. Good over here. So, if there's any comments, I can see them. Open that up. All right. There we go. All right. Solo dolo tonight. So let me get into it. Let me just welcome back another edition of Nothing But Answers. The place to come to get all the answers that you need. Now we're here to bring you the answers. Um, I will say this past week uh, has been tough. Past couple weeks have been tough. Um, so I think it's weeks of heavy hearts. Heavy hearts. A lot going on this week. Lots going on. A lot of things going on this week. What do you guys have going on? Anything that you guys out there have experienced? Um, Want to kind of talk about? Uh, there's a lot of things, a lot of things, injustices or justices, depending how you look at it. Um, a lot of things about how you should raise the youth. Um, what does protecting yourself look like? Who's an aggressor? What's an aggressor looks like? What is a person who looks that is being aggressed upon? Things seem to be, uh, and I think so they continue to say everything's not racial, right? Everything today they're like it's not racial. It's not racial. Um, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that beliefs, backgrounds, culture, these things play into how you see things, how you view things. Um, so racial is some culture. Hey, look who made it. Hey, Puddin.
What's up, Pumpkin?
Man, not much what's going on. What I was just getting into, just talking about, last couple of weeks, um, how some things have been said about how you should raise your kids, how your kids should act, um, how everything isn't racist or racially motivated things. And I was just getting into, I feel like, let's be honest, things are racially motivated. Things are culturally motivated. Things are uh, contingent upon your beliefs, will kind of play out in how you see things. Even as far as the Kevin Hart roast, I don't know if we talked about that, I can't remember, but there were jokes that people took offense to. But if you really look at it, the jokes kind of, uh, the people who didn't like the George Floyd joke for the most part were people of color. The people who didn't like the Charlie Kirk jokes were mostly uh, people who are not of color. I guess that's the way I will say it. You know, um, but I was telling you, for me, I felt like this last couple of weeks was tough. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, absolutely. It's
Find the words.
yeah, I'm trying to. Especially with the two young men so close together, both the stories are, don't happen in a vacuum, and um, they happen in a country that has spent centuries teaching Black people that our pain will be questioned, our humanity will be debated,
Mm.
and our lives are measured differently. And I'm tired of watching Black children be treated like grown men when it's time to punish them, but like a threat when it's time to protect them. You know,
It's
I'm
interesting because
just
I know I was mhm. Go ahead, but say I was in a lot of these chat rooms, Leanne, and the first thing a lot of people say, like if if black people care about killing of young black people, black people kill more young black people than anybody else. And I agree, right?
hmm
I agree there's a problem with uh, people of color, especially black people and brown, killing each other. I also, for black people, understand we're a people who are newly freed. I mean, I'm talking about in the late 60s, 70s, right? We can kind of move around uh, the way we wanted to. And I think it's a lot of pain in our communities, you know, like you said, that reach back to how we came here, and then how when so-called slavery, 'cause everybody goes back to slavery, but we don't nobody talk about segregation.
hmm
Jim Crow, that was like closer, like oh, cool. Slavery ended a long time ago. Let's say that's true, but there's a lot of things that didn't end. But it's a lot of pain in our community. Now, I'm not making excuses. I'm just being honest. There is a lot of healing that needs to be done. Because, like I said, that slavery was so-called set free, but that freedom didn't look like anybody else's freedom.
hmm
You still had to fight. You still had to deal with the inequalities in uh, injustice in housing, in banking, in every aspect of your life. There was injustice and inequality, and we had no equity really in anything. Um, so, as a disenfranchised people who are trying to get their footing, I don't think 70, 80 years is enough time to say, hey, you guys should get together when you're getting really little to no help, right? So I understand socially why sometimes people of color are killing each other, the lack of the hatred we have for each other at times in these communities, the um, sometimes the unity we don't have because we're still looking for who we are, right? We still don't really have a like who we are. We try to respect. You can't really find out exactly where you're from. I think we still have a disenfranchised mind that we're trying to find a collectiveness, cohesiveness. So yes, we do have work to do, and I like to say that because I hate when that's what people want to hang their hat on.
hmm
That you guys kill each other. Well, what has America done to really help people of color to really get a good footing here to move forward? What have they really done outside of make the black man the boogeyman? The black man is supposed to be the highest on welfare. They're supposed to be you know, anything that's negative is black people are looked at as that thing. But when you go into the numbers, that usually doesn't, it's usually not true. So I like to get that out the way before anybody says anything, you know, like, well, what about you guys killing each other? Absolutely a valid point. But why can't we just stick on the point that we're talking about instead of deflecting when we're talking about uh, little boy getting accused? First of all, getting followed around. How do you think that feels to go in the store and you're followed aisle by aisle? That's crazy. You know what I mean, Leanne? How do you think you feel You go in the store, they tell you put your book bag down, and you're followed aisle by aisle. Someone watching your every move.
It's as if you're already convicted of something before you even begin anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like society has already made up in their mind of who and what you are and what the expectation for you is. And then you're treated as such. Not to mention all of the propaganda that's been put out about Black people as a whole. So people already feel justified in treating you like a threat or a criminal. And it's sickening. Our children can't be children. We can't, ever have the benefit of the doubt. We're always behind the 8 ball.
It's very it's it's very interesting because the Black community is looked at very like a monolith, right? So anyone that does something in the Black community, it reflects the whole Black community, right? It's like, oh, he did it, they are this. There's not, that doesn't really go well with like sometimes with other communities. Like when if you bring up other things that may be predominant, kind of that people do things and it doesn't affect that whole race. It will be excuses. They'll be a one-off. They'll be mental health. They'll be something else that led to that being that, but it's not group, right? Not the norm. So it becomes difficult. So in this situation, you're following me around every aisle. And this is also, if you look at the tape, you see the tapes in the store, but the store had extensive video cameras. So you see it, So that's the first thing I come to with that one, because how do you think I stole something when you watched me the whole time?
Because it's what you expected of me, and that's what you wanted to happen.
Very interesting.
You wanted me to be a problem. You wanted me to be a thief. And you treated me as such ever since I walked in the door. And whether it's true or not, it was true enough to you
now again
to act on.
Right. And again, it might be an area where there's a high crime, because sometimes they're going through all these things, maybe they experienced a lot of people stealing in this store. So, okay, cool. But also, like you said, the propaganda and the way they look at people doesn't help how you view a person. So then whatever happens, and again, and since there was no sound, we don't know what the mother said to make the son chase the boy, but I think it's kind of, it goes hand in hand, right? It's like we can't have reasonable expectations to things. Like reasonably, if you start running after me, it's reasonable that I run away from you. I don't think that's even a debate, right? How is that a debate? You're chasing me. It's meaning I'm afraid if I'm running. Right? I'm like, especially if I didn't do anything. If I did nothing and I'm running from you, that's because I'm in fear.
Right.
So I don't know how you get to chase me down, shoot me in the back, and then from my understanding, the excuse that was used, the son chased, I think his name was Cyrus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then the father chased his son, he said, to protect him from the person he was chasing. I'm gonna say it again because I might be me. The father said he ran out to follow his son and protect his son who was chasing someone else. Hmm. It's like they don't even try to hide things anymore, and the day is the whoever's in control. Because it doesn't. Me even saying that doesn't make sense. I, how do you chase someone and the person being chased is the threat or the aggressor that you have to be protected from? Hey, you ever chase anybody that you needed to be protected from?
No.
Okay, I just don't have that experience. I don't have that experience. Like I'm so afraid that I'm gonna chase you and do harm to you, and didn't say I was afraid. I don't.
It doesn't make sense. But again, it doesn't have to.
You know what? I think that's real. That's real. And again, I think it goes back to how you view a person or a group of people. Your situation is the situation. How you view it is usually contingent upon how you view the people in the situation.
Yeah.
I don't and I'm just so confused because it's not outcomes aren't similar. They're not the same. If you're telling me in one case that um, protecting yourself from an aggressor is not okay, but in another case you're telling me the aggressor can protect themselves and you can't. It's just so confusing. I don't get it. What am I missing, Leanne? Is it me?
No, it's this society. You know what I'm saying? It's the things that colored people have to go through in this world, in this America. Um, and I can't even just say it's even just in America anymore, you know. But for, the sake of keeping it local, America has continuously proven that we are not even seen as human, that we don't deserve or can't be afforded the same rights as everyone else. And that anything we do, we have to do it better, we have to do it bigger, we have to do it without flaws. And even that may not save your life.
Yeah. hmm At the end of the day, um, so again, I like I said, I believe um, we do have to. When people keep saying it's not racially motivated, I think we need to be uh, honest. Um, if we want to be honest, we will start acknowledging that there is a there's a part of this that the racial lines it does play a role because again these cases like the Carmelo Anthony case um, it got so much attention because it was black and white, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the narrative. I mean, people, to be honest, die every day. B, that's what they say. People die every day. B,
Mm-hmm.
people die every day. People are murdered every day. But the ones that come across your timelines are usually look a certain way because I just saw where I think it was three white women or two white women adopted a young black girl and tortured her and killed her. didn't really see it all over their place. So and who controls the media, right? Who controls what we see? It's not people of color for the most part. So then I feel like the news is skewed in a way.
Unknown caller.
Hold on. Get on the call, man. Let's see what we got here. Hello, caller.
Hi, this
Hi.
is Vix back.
Hey, how are you doing, Vix?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Very nice to hear your voice. What do you have for us tonight?
On YouTube today, so I'm running in my phone.
Nice. So what do you have? You have anything, or are you just listening?
Well, I have a question that I would like to pose, if I may.
You may. Please pose away.
My question is, what is the right resolution? How do we solve this? Not just in America, but in every country. What is the right way forward? Because in both of my countries, the settlers came and they took the land from the indigenous people. They took it, right? That is a fact. However, I don't know that there's any way forward if we keep saying, I am different from you. I am different from that person based entirely on the color of your skin or your nationality. I don't believe that there's any way forward except to stop saying we're separate, we're different. You are different to me. And so how do we go forward, right? Because if we say, okay, we're all the same, let's just all be the same and respect one another, well then isn't that disrespecting the indigenous people of my two countries and other peoples whose rights were violated? That's disrespectful and dismissive of them. However, I don't see another way forward. So I would like to know what other people.
All right, good question. I think you posed a good question. I would say we are different, right? People are different, and I think that's okay. I think we should be able to celebrate our differences, but still coexist and respect each other the same. Our differences, the differences shouldn't divide us. It should be like, oh, they're different. That's cool. You can learn about it. We can appreciate the differences in each other, but it doesn't have to be one is better or worse, right? And I think that's the problem.
Exactly.
Because
right.
For me, my blackness, I love my blackness. Like that is my core. That's my being. That's who I am.
Yes.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that any of that should be dismissed or disrespected. It should be celebrated and respected,
right?
Because everybody's individual. That what makes us better,
right?
You gotta honor everybody's individuality,
right?
But it shouldn't divide us,
right? It shouldn't be something that's a scarlet letter. These people are this. These people are this. I think first of all we have to stop saying these people are anything. And if you have bad apples in a bunch, you let the bad apples be the bad apples, but that's usually not the whole, right? It's usually not every.
But they're still apples.
Right.
Okay?
That's what I mean.
Everyone is an apple. Yeah.
Right.
So,
and don't let the. Well, I mean, even if we have different type, because there's different type of apples. You have Gala apples. You have Red Delicious.
Exactly.
Right. We have different apples. They're still all apples, but they're, but just if there's a couple bad Gala apples, that don't make all the apples bad. All the Gala apples bad. They say there's some point out the bad apples, and that instead of grouping, we group everything together. Right. So tribalism is cool in some ways, but when you make the worst of that tribe, that becomes the majority or what we think of them, that's when it becomes a problem, right? So when you demographic a group of people due to the worst of that people, that's the problem. And that's what happens. We make people savages. We make people angry. We make people like all the tropes you hear, there's where the problems start to lie, right? When we make people a monolith instead of looking at, you know, even though you may look the same, you can be like, we still are different. We're not all the same. Just because this person did this doesn't mean I'm going to do that either, right? So it's got to be a different way of thinking, but it's so difficult because
is it unreasonable to think that we can stop dividing and separating and you know, I'm going to say with my people here, you're different, so you're bad. Is it unrealistic to think that we can stop doing that?
Well, I think the world is going to help stop doing that with all the biracial children and things of that that are coming and becoming a big, well, at least here in America, it's the melting pot. You know, people are just kind of, you know, brown is what everybody's going to be soon. But then people will have another way to, you know, discriminate if you're lighter or darker. So it's just, you know, it's almost like human nature to make differences a problem. Like differences are what we use to divide us out of nothing.
Not real.
Right. We make these things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
So are we just doomed?
Yeah.
You know, like if we can't divide and shit on others for this reason, we'll just find another. Is that what's going to happen?
I mean, as far as history has been repeating itself, it doesn't really seem like it's getting better. It seems when they do have these nice little communities where everybody's getting together, someone comes and raids it and destroys it. So it makes it difficult for the good communities because the evil comes and they don't like that. So I don't know what's the answer. I mean, I wish there was an answer because it's getting, like I said, it's just becoming overwhelmingly evident that
discouraging.
Yes, it does. It gets very discouraging. You know what I mean? What do you think, Lee?
Well, what exactly?
About all of this, just about how do we fix this? Is there a fix? Are we doomed?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it unrealistic of me to think that people can stop with the bullshit construct of racism and actually see each other as other human beings and not find some excuse to mistreat one another?
Yeah, I think as a whole, racism is going to be around forever. As much as I would want it to be different or changed to one level or another, it will be there. I think there's also too much reward in giving to certain individuals because of racism, which is why I think it will persist for the years to come. And again, it's disheartening. I mean, I would love to see it go away. I would love if, you know, the younger generation could somehow, you know, overcome it and change things. I just don't see it because it's so deep rooted and seated in individuals' lineage that it would make it hard to do away with it altogether. But I don't know where we go from here.
You know, we have the people. We'll say to piggyback off that, the people in charge, who will say enforce the rules, you know, until there's some consequences for these things. Why would it change? Right? There's nothing to change it. If we feel like the laws are judged in a way that allow these things to happen, if you know there's no repercussions for this, then why would it change? And that's the problem too. Like, this is not just the people; it's kind of the systems allow. I can speak for in America. I can't speak for other countries. The systems here, it feels like they allow these things to go on, right? It feels like the systems
built in.
Actually, you know, Right. It just seems like, especially with some of these cases we are having now and how they're being adjudicated, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like it's almost allowed to happen. So you don't have any recourse. So you're almost pissing in the wind in this type of thing. Who are you telling? Who do you go to? Who do you run to when the people in control are the people who are basically allowing these things to happen? So it's very difficult to change things. Because I can change things in my house and my neighborhood. That's cool, but it can't go further than that if things are allowed to happen. So it's tough.
Yeah, Lovely, you said, you said people benefit from engaging in these practices. Is it that they're rewarded for it, or is it ignorant, or is it both?
Well, let's like this. So these last two cases, when you chase a kid down, first of all, you accuse him of stealing, you chase him down, you shoot him in the back, and you kill him, and you're found not guilty. That to me is a system saying this body, this person wasn't worth, even if he did steal a bottle of water, which he didn't. You can shoot somebody in the back over a bottle of water. You can chase me down and shoot me in broad daylight. And the courts are saying, the rule makers are saying that it was justifiable.
So you think that he had that in mind before even beginning? Like, I don't pay the price for this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because,
what you mean by reward?
Yes. Meaning he didn't fear any real consequence. Because my understanding, he did it two other times before, I think, Leanne.
Yes.
Right. So this wasn't the first time he shot someone for so-called stealing. And didn't get any, and it wasn't charged.
But
it's really difficult to really.
But even if you look at it at a broader spectrum, politically, they feast off of us being divided. They divide us all the time. So there's reward and division. Because then certain individuals get into. Go ahead.
The law.
Right.
How can you change it?
Well, no. So you're right. A law is a law, right? But how I use that law is very different. So I can say, if I see you doing something, I can let you go, or I can give you a slap on the wrist. But when I come in there, I can get this for the same thing. Now I can be held for 90 years. For the same crime.
Yeah.
The law is
that's what I mean. Like in the court system, if it goes all the way to the courts, how can they make it suit? How do they change the law, interpret the law, and shape the law to suit their benefit? I don't understand.
Really easy, like you just said. They're
like a law is supposed to protect the citizens, all of them. No.
Well, we already know there are certain laws that was put into play. There are certain laws that was put into play that undeniably was skewed to benefit white people versus colored people in America. If you look at the drug laws, crack cocaine, which is a primarily drug that's used in the Black community, is jail defense, higher jail time than something like cocaine, even though it's the same drug, but cocaine mostly primarily loosely in the white community has a lower penalty held to it. So when we start talking about stuff like redlining different districts so that certain political parties can be put into place, there's certain laws that were put there specifically to
you don't go back that far. Like you were just saying, right now they're trying to redraw maps.
Yes.
Right? To disenfranchise Black voters. Right? So they're separating and trying to weakening the power of
the
these,
Black vote.
And it's predominantly Black communities.
Yes.
It's like, how do you, the things that they're doing, it looks as face value as things that they're doing that are on an up and up, but it's only affecting certain people. So it's very clear what they're doing. They don't bill it that way, but if only these people are being disenfranchised with these things, then clearly this is what it is. But is
it worse when one party is in? I won't say,
right,
but is it worse when one party is in control?
Nah, they're birds. They're feathers.
No,
wings
they're the
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. It's all the same.
So what do we do?
I
don't want to be part of that.
Well, I think you do what you can. Make sure your heart is the right place. Try to do what you can for the people the people around you, and try to live as best you can. But the problem with that is, for me, I feel like I'm just one, and it may, some people call it
drowning.
Well, I feel like I'm one stop away from something happening. I'm one situation away from being in a store and someone saying something, and now I'm in the one that, if I defend myself, it becomes a problem. If I just exist, it could be a problem, right? Yes,
that's how I feel. I pay taxes, therefore I support this bullshit.
Right, we do. We pay into. Absolutely, absolutely, we do. And it's like, I think when I listen to Carmelo Anthony, his parents were like, you don't think about this stuff until it comes knocking at your door. You don't think that it's going to happen to you because they moved into an affluent neighborhood and sent them to a good school. It's like, this is not going to happen to me. So now when it happens to you, now you are waking up again. Because you can't walk around and feel this way all the time. So we actually have to go on with our life. We have to push these feelings down and go on, right? We have to ignore these things. But when it happens in such a succession, which I think is done on purpose too, I think these are messages being sent. I feel we're sending messages out to.
How is any human being supposed to thrive under such conditions? Not even thrive. Survive without intense psychological damage, when they're constantly worried about their safety and the safety of their family.
Well, there we go. So the Black community has higher rates of cortisol levels running through us, especially in the inner cities. You're always in a fight or flight. Even outside, like right now, when you see these things, you feel these things. These are actually things that I can't speak for anybody else. I only speak from my Black experience. I feel this. I feel now more on edge when I go places because I know what can happen. Some people say, and some people can't understand it. If you don't live this experience, it's very difficult to understand. So some people are fine, and the majority of people in America are fine because they're not. They're the winning.
Nobody should be fine.
Yeah, but again,
either you're experiencing it or you're watching somebody experience it. Neither is fine. So why is nobody fucking helping anyone?
Because if I'm not worried about getting knocked in the head, I can live my life kind of freely. And I don't want to put myself in harm's way because I care about my family. If I go out and put myself in harm's way for these other people, now I will be or could be in the line of fire. So if I'm the dominating class, what am I worried about? If I'm dominating and it's not happening to me or people I know and my neighborhoods aren't affected, I'm good. So the majority of
that's gross.
the United States.
That's like Ayn Rand self-serving bullshit.
Absolutely, it is. But also, it's also, everybody is conditioned to me. If I don't have to worry about anything, then I don't really know there's a problem. And when you say there's a problem, I don't see it enough. I don't see it. It's so, but I mean,
it's so cowardly. Well, if I just don't pay attention, then I don't have to put in an effort or do anything for anybody.
Right.
I hate that.
Right. And that's a big problem because, people can not believe or see what they see. People can.
Right, but then if something happens to them, they expect the entire world to dance accommodation on that. So boo-hoo, somebody was mean to me. But they don't give a flying fuck about anybody else who's being hurt.
And
It's only when it happens to them.
right. And that's the problem. If we could align more about the human experience, we'd be better. If we continue to deny other people's human experience, because I can tell people something and they're like, it's not that bad. How can you tell me how bad something is? Right? Right then you're denying my human experience. And you're actually saying, I don't want to believe it because I would have to believe my whole belief system is
Because I don't want to make an effort.
right.
Yeah, I don't want to take responsibility
Absolutely.
or make an effort or whatever it is that inconveniences me.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And people don't want to inconvenience themselves because we don't want to think. I mean, who wants to think about abusive situations? I understand that. No one wants to think about a situation that's abusive or harmful. You don't want to think that way because you'll be upset. You'll be depressed.
It hurts. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but if nobody thinks about it, nothing is going to change. And people are going to continue to suffer.
well, listen.
So somebody's got to.
If the majority of the people are seeing things on TV saying these people are this, and you don't even, because especially here in America, the middle of America it's like all white. You know, black people really dominate the coast. So once you go in so you have people who've never seen a black person in person until maybe college, and that depends on what college they went to. So if you have no direct experience with people, your ideologies and things of that nature are built on the propaganda that you see on TV shows, the news, and things of that nature. And most of the times, I'll speak for people of color are not really shown in a great light. You know, we don't have any great programs on how great of people we are. So I can understand how people could be afraid of this thing I see on TV. I can see how they think you're a criminal because
you're still people.
Right.
And nobody is just there. But as a human being, it doesn't matter what you look like, what the color of your skin is. It doesn't even matter your nationality. You don't have any reason to treat anybody else with disrespect.
That's true.
It's not real.
Right. But if more people felt that way or thought that way, we'd be a better people. But people don't feel that way. And obviously,
encourage them to try.
But it's I will say it's difficult to know people if you've never been around them. My own experience, when I went to a white high school, that was a great thing for me. Because some of the things you thought or about people, like I got to know people that were different, and it really was great for me. Because I'm like, oh, they're the same as me. We're all cool. But I had an experience. Right? That experience really shaped who I was and what I become. If I didn't have that experience, I would believe some things too that I saw on TV or the propaganda or what people said. And, some of these tropes that go out and they would just be facts to me. These things become facts. And then you operate off.
Can I just say that I like that you're saying that you're accepting responsibility for like I might have been misled or whatever. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to always be right. So I like that you're allowing for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that was a great experience.
I'm not saying that came out wrong.
No, it came out perfect. I understand what you're saying. Because again, and not that I would, like I said, I wouldn't have known any different. I would have just known what I saw. I would have never got to talk. Again, some of my best friends are white. I wouldn't have had these experiences because I would think these people are different. Based off of what we know, based off of color, based off of even history can make you very upset if it, depending on what you see. So it's good. I think people need to really be around people more and see each other as humans. Because obviously you don't see these people as humans if you're treating them that way. I don't care what anyone says. You can't see somebody as human and do all the things you're doing to them, or not a human like you. They have to be less than a human, less of a human than you are to treat them.
Yes, exactly.
So I do.
Like the way you said it before, like our differences are to be celebrated and honored, and tradition and culture is to be honored, not used against one another or used to divide us. Why is that so fucking hard?
Yeah, it's tough.
Right,
Leanne?
Yeah,
it's tough. And then when you put other things in there, if you put other things like a black and a woman, right? Black woman gay or black man gay. All these other things start to add more and more issues to how you're looked at.
Right, more and more excuses to mistreat another person
100,
that are not acceptable and not even real.
Right.
You know?
But the problem is
I don't understand.
the problem is it is acceptable and it does become real to people. People really
I
believe.
know, and that's what drives me absolutely scared.
Right.
Right? Right? But it's not real. They're not different.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is worthy of being treated with respect. They all deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that separates anybody out from being treated with kindness and respect. What the fuck is wrong with everyone?
Like I said, this is ingrained, especially here. I keep saying I can't speak for other places, but how America was created. When you look at something a certain way for 400 plus years, I think it's very difficult to not see it as that thing.
Okay.
You know, I think it's very difficult it's conditioned. It's like you've been conditioned to view this this way, and that's everybody. Because I mean, even people of color are conditioned to feel certain ways about us, right? So the conditioning is everyone. Everyone's conditioned. You know, like I said, I was conditioned. We're still conditioned. We have to fight to break it, and that's the problem. A lot of people, some people don't know what it is. Going to school, the high school I went to, going to college, you start learning like, wait, them ways that I was thinking was that's not true. That's not real. And you fight to break it.
So that's my other question. Like, is it just ignorance, or are people genuinely evil? You know, like it makes me happy to mistreat this person for such and such, or is it just ignorance?
I think subconsciously, some people have to believe that other people are less than, because I can't. There's no way I can really to do some of the things that are being done. Again, I said I don't think you can look at another human and do that to them. I mean, there's actually been some studies I saw on judges, psychological studies that say, like, if there's a white judge, a lot of times he gives that white boy a less sentence because he understands what it was to be a young white boy and do things that were mischievous at the time. So he's like, you're just being a boy. But if I see a black boy, I don't understand his experience. Yeah. Right? Then it was a crime. It's a crime. And he'll look at it differently. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I can go both ways.
How is that able to do that?
Because
how can it have the same crime perpetrated by two different boys and they get completely different legal interpretations and sentences?
Right. Because
that is fucked up.
We all say we don't have biases, and the problem is we do. Our biases lead our decision making. And we have to start being honest about it. Our biases lead our decision making. Right?
True. So but isn't the law the one place where these biases are not supposed to have influence?
It's not supposed to. And it doesn't sometimes with certain clients, certain perpetrators don't get the bias against them.
Wealthy or whatever, the powerful,
some people don't get it, but other people, the biases show, and again, and it goes both ways. There's definitely people of color who will do things. It's just not one way. But the problem is the power dynamic here doesn't really give people of color a lot of power. So hence the
right, and that pisses me off too, because and I don't mean to speak of your country, but it seems to me that if what had happened to your community happened to the white community, they would respond in the exact same way because it is a human response.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with the color of your skin.
Right.
A human being who is traumatized will react in certain ways.
Absolutely.
White, black, whatever.
Right. And that does confuse me because
I don't understand.
Right. At this point, I think we kind of all know this, and I don't understand why we're not operating in a way to try to fix or help that. I mean, if we help the lowest of the low, we help everyone. So if we could help the disenfranchised, most time either the black or even the lower the whites that are, or the Puerto Ricans, whoever, the lowest of the lows, if we can help them, it helps everybody, right? But they just don't want to do that. They don't want to help the least of us. They don't want to put into the least of us. The wealth gap is getting to be crazy, right? It's really the have and the have not.
Is it because they feel it threatens their prominence, like their standing, or is it, I don't want to share? Like, why would you not want to make things better for everyone?
So I read some things, and I kind of alluded to earlier with the all of the mixing, the biracial children that are coming, that people don't want to lose their power, right? You don't want to lose that good old white power. So you're going to do everything you can to keep your control. I think, to be honest,
sorry, go ahead.
well, I think, when COVID was here and we had the George Floyd, we saw people who saw something that you couldn't unsee. And I think the world was on fire when they saw that, right?
Right. Why did it have to
The world
go
was
so
on fire.
far for everyone to wake up?
Right. And
This isn't new.
nope. But, as time went on, everybody goes back to work and you kind of lose that momentum that was.
Yeah, they forget it.
You forget it. And again, you want to forget it because no one wants to remember that abusive situation you saw. You don't want to remember what you saw that's abusive. You don't want to think about someone being kneeled on and expiring in front of your eyes. And nothing changes because and that's just the way we're set up. Our minds are set up to protect ourselves. Our bodies.
Yes, that's true. That is human nature.
Yeah, human nature has to, because we had so much trauma. There's so much trauma we see and experience and continue to experience. We would be messed up if we couldn't push that away.
So if it's a reward to continue with these shitty behaviors, how can we compel everyone? Like, what can we do to reward not being a stupid cunt?
Yeah, I think we have to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
How do we do that?
No, I think we have to keep talking, and hopefully someone can hear this conversation or conversations like it, and maybe to touch something in them to change them, and then we can, we have to work from the bottom up, which is terrible because we have to get people in charge who can do something. Like, we don't have great, like Martin Luther King's or Malcolm X's or any. We don't have those people anymore. First of all, they killed them all because
what happened to them?
They killed them all. They sent a message. They said, if you are doing something that actually invokes change, we're going to kill you. The government.
Yes. Step outside the line, you're gonna die.
That's it.
Right?
You can't truly fight. So we don't have anybody really fighting for anything today. I think it's all a show, smoke and mirrors. The people we see yelling on TV.
Yeah, it's all crap.
That's all they're doing. They're yelling on TV. They're not really doing anything, right? Because it's all distractions from whatever the fuck they're trying to do. Right.
Achieve for themselves only.
Right.
It's so discouraging though. Like, I want to put my energy into something that will actually have some kind of effect. And I don't know what that is. The voting sure isn't it.
No, it isn't. I mean, I think allyship will be a big thing if people can come together and to stick together. I mean, it's been times, the civil rights movement, we had the Jewish people were down, the Asian people were down, but they were bought out so easily, they leave the movement, right? So then it's just black people again, brown people again.
Yeah, I'm good now, so let's stop that.
Right. So if we could all really stick together, I've seen over history that if people stick together, we can overcome, we can make a difference. But people are selfish and they worry about what they have. So if somebody says, we're going to give you this, you be like, okay, bye-bye to the movement. And we're going to move to our, and protect our own stuff, which is human nature.
And I feel like we're heading in that direction more and more so as well. Like, you just look after yourself. Only you matter.
Absolutely.
Which is not going to help anything.
Only you matter, and you have certain people have the law to back them up. So when something happens and certain people like, I'm calling the cops on you for existing, they know what they're saying. Right? And that's the problem.
That is so fucked up. And it's so discouraging.
Oh, it is. I know. We live it. So it's very, very, it's very trying.
Right? Like, yeah, poor me.
Yeah.
I'm not even in America, and I'm like, oh, poor me. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's totally how it came out.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay. And that's why we have these conversations, so we can both have a better understanding. And that's what people need to do. People need to talk to each other. You know, really just sit down and talk to each other. If we can sit down and talk to each other, and we'll find out people are really cool, right? People are really cool.
They are. They are. You're right. I shouldn't be so discouraged. There are a lot of good people who, I guess the news and social media just seems prevalent with cunts. And I get very discouraged on humanity as a whole. And I just want to give up. But you're right. There are very, very good people, and they're trying.
Yeah. They're trying.
I hear you.
And, I mean, hopefully it'll work out. One day we shall overcome. That's what Martin Luther King said. One day. Yay. So.
I need to like take over and talk this whole time. Thank you for
thank you.
I feel very stifled by my lack of typewriter, so I have to call in.
No, that's great. Thank you for calling. I really appreciate it. You have a good night, and call anytime you want.
Thank you. You as well.
Have a good
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Lee Lutto.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good call. I wish we could do that more. She seemed to be, she really seemed to be caring and had the right questions.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
And I think that's the start. When you can come in not telling me my experience, but asking questions and truly listening, to hear, right? Not to respond. That's how, and the same way, and that's a great conversation because we learn a lot. I just don't think we do it enough. You know, but like I said, you have to care first, and it seems like she cares. So that was a good call. What you over there doing, Leanne? What you got? You got anything?
What you mean?
You got anything over there? I didn't ask you what was in the cup.
Yeah, I just been heavy and tired. Just with the weight of the situation, because sometimes it just feels like it's constant.
Wait, I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Man, not to cut you off. I'm sorry. It's a little delay, so you can hear it. But you know what? You said you were kind of heavy with the weight. There's also the weight she carried. It's in your stores. You can find it. The weight she carried, the book Leanne made, written, was made for these type of situations.
Oh my God.
So where can you get the book at, Leanne? Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon or
Mm-hmm.
Barnes and Nobles.
Hey, look, go to that Barnes and Nobles, go to that Amazon. The weight she carried, help you carry some of that weight, just help you get away. I'm just saying. But go ahead, Leanne. I just wanted to put it. I heard you say the weight she carried. I'm like, the weight she carried. I knew what you were doing. I seen how you threw it to me. I caught it.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Oh man, that was crazy. See how we did that? Real fast, I got one last quick topic. I was watching something, and this online couple, they announced they're influencers, and I guess they showed their life. So they announced that they were they were pregnant. They were excited about having a baby. Yay, baby! But when they did some of the testing and things of that nature, it come to find out the baby was a high chance of some intellectual disabilities, some things. And they said, due to what we found out, we're going to terminate the pregnancy. So, what do you think about that, Lee?
I mean, first off, my heart goes out to him. To have to make that type of decision I couldn't imagine.
Right.
I really couldn't imagine. As far as, I guess, you do what you got to do or what you think is best in a situation. Because, that type of stuff comes with long-time commitment. You're not just a caregiver until they're 18 anymore or 21 anymore. In those cases, you're it for the rest of their life, or for the rest of yours, and then have to come up with some type and hope and pray that they will be taken care of to the end of their lives, in a way that you would take care of them. So on that note, I can understand the decision. I don't know if I could make that decision. I just don't know if I could.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Because I've seen a lot of that. The online is buzzing because some people are like, "Hey, you're a parent. When you're a parent, whatever comes, you love that child. You do all the things." And I hear them.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think that we need to stop trying to live for other people. Like
Exactly.
you said, what you said was real. What comes with this, if I'm not equipped to deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not equipped to deal with all the things that come with this, and I make a decision to say, you know what, I just can't do this. I just can't. I wouldn't be able to do this. I will say I respect that decision because, one, I wouldn't want a child to be in an environment where the person can't do it and it becomes abusive, or they're in a room and they're locked in a room, or the things that can happen. The mistreatment of this population is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Then there's not a big market for adoption,
Right.
People aren't rushing to adopt children with any type of disabilities.
Correct.
It's nothing. It's just a reality. So you can't have the baby and someone put up for adoption, because then where is that baby going to sit? Right? And that baby may be mistreated there too. The baby also could be treated well. He could find somewhere. I get it. It's always a chance that something can happen, but I don't hold anything against these parents who are sharing everything with the world and being open and honest to say, listen, we can't do this and we're going to terminate. And I think, hey, that's their right. That's their relationship. Well, depending where they live at. If that's what they choose to do, that's what they choose to do. I don't have any qualms with someone doing what they feel is best for them in that type of situation.
Yeah.
Child needs more than love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you're in something with 24-hour care, and I think one thing, even watching my daughter grow, is as she got older, I did less. So I started to get that time. Time started coming back. Time that I couldn't have before, because I had to watch every moment. Every time she got a little older, there's a little something less I had to do. In some of these situations, there isn't less that
you don't get that.
Have to do. So it's a tough situation. I think it's not a decision that is easily made. I don't think there's a necessarily right or wrong answer. But like I said, you do the best for you. That's all I say. You know, you try to figure out. Again, like I said, I respect it, Leanne. I don't know. I respect it.
I respect the decision that they make. Again, I respect the decision that they make because at the end of the day, they have to be the ones to go through that. And not everybody is equipped to do that. Some people barely equipped to be parents of a regular kid, let alone somebody with special needs.
Hey, you got your own needs as well. Like your mental health has to be at hopefully as high as can be to take care of that other body, the other person. And you know, someone else pointed out to me, you know, with relationships and marriages ending at about 42%, I think right now, 42, 45% marriages ending. And then that child usually is going to be with the mother. So now you have a person who has we'll say 60, 40, 70, 30 in the care of this child now, right? So you're putting it on now. This single mother is taking care of this child and needs kind of, you know, as best she can with the help she has. But that's a lot on one person now.
Absolutely.
A lot on one person. And yes, men do help out. Men are in children's lives. But for the most part, the child rearing is on the mother. You know? It's on the mother. So I think even with that looming over you're like, oh, you're in a great relationship, everything is good now, but we do prenups just in case we don't make it. So this decision, if we don't make it, I don't want to have a child that has you know intellectual disabilities or mentally challenged or you know any type of syndromes that I have to care for, you know, on my own. Might not be a popular take, you know, but I say, listen, I don't choose what anyone does with their body as long as they're doing it to themselves and their free will. I don't think I should have the right to say you shouldn't be able to do something. I think if you're making the best decision for you, I make the best decision for you. You know what I mean, Lee Little?
100.
So, and that was interesting. That was very interesting. You got anything else? Yeah, I didn't have really much today. I really want to go on and kind of, because you know we talked during the weekend. It was a tough week. These things are tough, and to me, I feel like I'm being sent a message. So the message I have for everyone that I have is, hey, go talk to somebody if you need to. Do a mental assessment. Check on your own, you know, what you're going through, so that you just feel, so that you know where you're at. And if you need help, go get help. If you need to talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. Don't hold all this in, because this pressure does bust pipes, and we don't need that. So, you know what I mean? Do what you need to do. I'm sending out air hugs to everybody, because it's tough times. What you got, Leanne?
Don't forget to love on yourself this week. Do something special for yourself. Make sure having some self-compassion and self-care is at the forefront of your mind. Doesn't have to be anything big. It can be, you know, watching your favorite movie this weekend without interruption. It can be putting a face mask on, whatever the case may be. Taking some time out for yourself to kind of just switch it off and focus on you.
Hey, with that being said, I want you guys to focus on you. Actually, focus on me. See that? So, yeah, we're going to get out of here tonight. Leanne, you're going to stop laughing. When I get a beard like this, she just be overwhelmed with this beard. You see how this beard is coming in? Connected. Okay, so we're gonna get up out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you for the call. Vic, call anytime. Listen, if you guys have anything you want to add, please go in the comments. Please leave messages. If you have any questions, please leave questions, or even if you want to tell us something, because we all want to learn. We all want to talk through this, and I would love to know what people feel about these things that are going on. But other than that, everybody have a good night. Hit us on all our socials, Nothing But Answers, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. And we'll love to hear from you guys. We're going to get up out of here. Leanne, hit that button. We're up out of here. Have a good night, y'all. Do something good.
Bye.